All right, welcome everyone. Today we're going to go on a really cool journey. We're going to uncover a hidden world. And get this, it's a world that's all around you, it's on you, it's even inside you, but you can't see it at all.
So, let me ask you something right off the bat. Did you know that you're never, ever truly alone? I mean, right now, as you're listening to this, there are probably millions of living things in the room with you. And you can't see a single one of them. Kind of wild, right?
I mean, we see the big stuff all the time, obviously. People, our pets, trees outside. But what about that other column? The things we don't see. That's a total mystery, and that's the mystery we're going to solve today.
Okay, so to really get a handle on this invisible world, we've got to start with the basics. We need to be on the same page about what it even means for something to be alive.
The word scientists use is organism, and it's super simple, really. An organism is just any living thing. So you're an organism, your dog is an organism, that tree outside your window, yep, that's an organism too. If it's alive, we call it an organism. Easy enough, right?
Okay, so the invisible world we're talking about, it's jam-packed with microscopic organisms. That word, microscopic, kind of gives it away, doesn't it? Micro means super, super small. So these are organisms, living things, that are just way too tiny for us to see with just our eyes.
All right, so you're probably thinking, wait a minute. If we can't see them, how in the world do we know they even exist? It's a great question. How did anyone find this secret empire of tiny life?
Well, they had a key, a very special tool, and that tool is the microscope. It's one of the most important inventions ever because it's literally the key that lets us see the invisible.
So how does this thing actually work? It's actually pretty simple. Think of it in 3 steps. First, it uses lenses, like the ones in glasses, to bend light. Then, step 2, that bending of light acts like a super powerful zoom, making things look hundreds of times bigger than they are in real life. And finally, step 3, bam, the magic happens. The invisible becomes visible.
Okay, so we've got the key. Let's unlock the door and meet some of the incredible inhabitants of this tiny world. I mean, there are literally millions of different kinds out there, but let's start with 3 of the most famous ones.
First up, phytoplankton. The easiest way to think about these guys is like they're the tiny floating plants of the sea.
So yeah, they're these tiny, plant-like organisms that live in the water. Oceans, lakes, you name it. But here's the deal. They have a huge job. They're basically lunch for small fish. And if they disappeared, well, a lot of ocean animals would go hungry. So yeah, they're a pretty big deal.
Okay, next up is a word I'm sure you've heard before, bacteria. These things are probably the most common microscopic organisms on the entire planet.
So what are they? Well, they're super simple. They're single-celled, which means their entire body is just one cell. That's it. And they are everywhere. I'm talking in the dirt, in the air, and yep, even on your skin right now. Now, most of them are totally fine, but some, like the one mentioned here, Staphylococcus, are the kind that can make you sick.
And finally, get ready for this one. We're going to meet one of the toughest, most incredible creatures on Earth. I'm talking about the tardigrade.
People call them water bears, which is a perfect nickname, right? They totally look like tiny little bears with 8 legs, but what makes them legendary is their toughness. These little guys can survive almost anything. Boiling water? No problem. Frozen solid in ice? They're fine. They could even survive in the vacuum of outer space. Seriously, they're basically indestructible.
Okay, so we've met a few of these tiny critters, and you might be thinking, they're so small, do they actually matter? And the answer to that is a huge, definite yes.
This quote here really hits the nail on the head. Without phytoplankton, the whole food chain in the ocean would collapse. And that's no exaggeration. Think about it. Phytoplankton are at the very bottom of the food chain. They get eaten by small fish, then bigger fish eat those small fish, and so on, all the way up. If you pull out that bottom piece, the phytoplankton, the whole thing just comes crashing down.
And this really brings it all together. Life exists at every single size. You've got microscopic plants like algae and big ones like a rose. You've got tiny animals like our friend the tardigrade and big ones like a monkey. The point is, this tiny world isn't some separate thing. It's actually the foundation that our big, visible world is built on. They completely depend on each other.
Okay, let's head into our final section, because I want to leave you with something that shows just how massive this invisible world truly is.
Just look at that number for a second. 100 million. Scientists think there are over 100 million different types of microscopic organisms on Earth.
That's just mind-blowing. And to put that into perspective, that number is way, way bigger than all the visible plants and animals combined. So if you counted up every bird, every fish, every insect, every tree, everything you can see, it still wouldn't come close to the number of microscopic species out there. It really makes you realize that the world we see is just the tip of the iceberg.
And that just leaves us with one final, incredible question to think about. We've only just started to peek into this hidden world with our microscopes. So what else is out there? What other amazing creatures and unbelievable secrets are just waiting for us to find them in the world we can't see?